Hi everyone, this is the house of Poppy and Fen, and I wanted to show you my dollhouse. This is Miriam speaking, and just to show you that I am actually working on one. This is my first dollhouse, so I haven't actually done a dollhouse before. This is the very first one I've ever done, unless you count when I was like 8. Yeah, so it's been pretty fun, but you can see the different rooms. There's quite a bit of different rooms. I didn't exactly follow the plan. So this is the lower level. You have a kitchen here. Well, I'm going to probably put a kitchen in here. I guess you can make it whatever you wanted. By the way, offer suggestions. If you've done this house before, maybe you have lots of suggestions. This is the main area. Originally, it was a bit more divided by a staircase. This really big staircase that came with the plans that I chose not to build. It just cut off that main doorway too much and you couldn't really see it, and it just took up so much space. It was just, I felt like it was kind of a waste of space. So I thought maybe I would either leave out a staircase or build my own staircase. So I'm kind of in the process of trying that. I didn't complete it because I wanted to finish the floors before I completed it so I'd have the measurements correct. But this is my attempt at a spiral staircase, so we'll see what happens there. Hopefully it will go really well. Yeah, hopefully, as we all hope. And then this is the floor that I've been working on. I kind of completed it, except for I'll probably stain it. This is my first time doing this kind of floor, well, any floor, and I chose to do popsicle sticks, which was kind of hard. If you've ever done this before, you can probably relate. At least maybe I'm a baby, but it was hard on your hands. I think I needed better cutting materials to cut them. But the idea was to make it look like in a Victorian floor with a little bit of a pattern here. It is a little bit warped, probably partially because I did it in stages, partially because it's not permanent. So if you have any suggestions about that, I'm thinking probably if I heated it a bit and flattened it after I stained it, it might be a little more permanent, a little more, not permanent, flat. But you can also see I was neater as I went. I started here, and then as I went and got over here, I think my attention span kind of waned, and by the time I got over here, it's not nearly as neat. I kind of forgot my pattern at one point. But that's okay. It's my first time, and since it's not permanent, no commitment. So I can take it out, which is good and has its good things and its bad things. So yeah, but I think because it's my first time, I like having the chance to change it out if I wanted to. Because this house is so big, I think it could be redone many, many times. But yeah, I'll probably seal it and finish that before I move on to something else. And then I think I'm going to do, a lot of times in Victorian houses, these little alcove areas were done in a stone or a different tile, or at least a different color of wood. So I might do that in a different way, try a different technique for that. One little note I meant to mention is that this line right here wasn't actually part of my original design. Like most things, kind of change it as I go. But really, it was mostly because when I put these two pieces together, it had been a little gap, and I went on vacation and came back and did it. And I don't know, probably because I did do it in stages, or probably just because I'm not that neat. Whatever the case was, and I'm not that great at measuring, I felt like these didn't really look nice. It was kind of ragged. So this kind of helped make it a little more formal. I would prefer it to be all one thing, but I think it'll look fine when I finish it up. I think once it's sealed and everything is kind of more uniform, it'll look better. And I think it does add a little bit rather than have the messy lines. So this is the bedroom, and it's a nice little room. It has a lot of little space. It has kind of this funky little stuff right here, which makes it a little bit more difficult to put furniture in, but I guess that has to do with the design of the house and how the other wall fits. So this is we went from the bedroom to this main area. Originally, this was divided up very differently. I never followed plans. I guess that's a problem. But this actually had this wall right here. And I chose not to put it in, partially because I was changing the staircase, but partially because I just thought having a bigger area would offer more opportunity, and you can always divide up with furniture or impermanent, temporary, what are those things called? Things to go in between that you can make fake walls with. I might still play around with the idea of finishing this and cutting off the tabs, and then just having it slide in as a non-permanent wall. I kind of like that idea, so that if I wanted to, I could have a separate room here and divide it up. But the problem with that is once you have this staircase, there's really this back area is just kind of hard to reach and kind of a wasted area. So I think originally it was the staircase. It was this big chunky staircase. So yeah, so my staircase will come up right here. It'll enter, it's a little unlevel right now, but it'll enter on this side, and the railings will have to go just a little bit this way. So we do end up having this little space over here for a tiny little sitting area or something. This is the attic. Yeah, kind of your basic standard attic. It's kind of a really narrow, pokey place, so it could be a fun little storage area or just kind of a secret bedroom. Not secret, but a really private bedroom. One I would have liked as a kid. This whole attic area was just kind of left open. These tabs are to go to the wall. I didn't put in below. So if I wanted to, I could create a wall, or I could just leave it open, which actually I'm kind of leaning towards just because of what it offers. All of the house, the walls are kind of whitewashed right now, and I believe someone gave us a tip that if you whitewash them and sand them a little bit and then whitewash them, it makes wallpaper or other paint stick a lot better. So that's, before I did anything else, I painted them with some inexpensive paint I had lying around just to get one coat up. So this area back here is a little room. It's hard to see, but yeah, there's sorry, I'm banging the camera against the walls. This is, yeah, a little kind of secret area back there. I don't know, I think it's really cute. It has a lot of opportunities. It kind of reminds me of that movie Sword in the Stone, where the owl and the wizard are, Merlin, right? Yeah, are sitting back there, and they have their little observation area. But anyway, originally I kind of wanted to break the house. I kind of wanted to play with these walls and open them up, but then I thought I'll just leave them as is, and instead I made the ceiling above pop up. It was much easier, so I can put things in from above if I can't fit them in through this door. So this is the side of the house. If you're coming from the inside to the outside, this is a gigantic house, so it's hard to get into the picture. These will be windows, which is fun. There's 3 sides to these windows. This is just supposed to be the roof, but I kind of love the idea. There's this wasted space under here that if you glued it shut, it wouldn't have anything on it. So I thought, why not put hinges and have a little door? I probably will put something, just a little secret in there, maybe some mice or owls or some animal living in there. Whatever I feel like, but it's just fun. Why waste the space when you have it? And yeah, so that'll be fun way to finish it. This is the front of the house. It has these little peaks, which are fun. And this is the porch. I haven't finished the porch. I'm going to probably do the siding before I put the porch on. I just thought that might be easier. So here we are wrapping around to the other side. This is the porch area down here. It has a really nice big porch area, which is really great. I think I'll have some opportunity. Oh, I still have some tape up there from gluing. And some cute windows. That's the window by the spiral staircase. It looks like the staircase fell down. Construction problems. And this is that bay window again, which will be really fun to do. So coming up here, we have this window continues, and then we have this open window up here. And then again, they have this area. This is probably the hardest part of the whole house to put together. Yeah, I think the hardest part was actually reading the instructions. I don't know if you've ever done a Greenleaf kit, but for me, the instructions weren't super clear or obvious, but I'm suppose some people had an easier time than others. But yeah, but this part for me, I think I made a mistake when I was reading it, so putting it together the first time was really difficult. But once I figured it out, it wasn't so bad. But again, I didn't want that wasted space inside because they suggested you just close it up and be done with it. So I put hinges on the doors, and that way I can open up and I have a whole nother area. And I'll have to choose. Maybe it's another area for animals, or maybe this floor, I can cut another little hole in it and put another ladder and make another tiny little room. So there's a couple opportunities there. Either way, I love kind of secret things. This wasn't in the original plan. So this is something, if you decide to do the kit, you'll have to do separately. But these hinges, you can get them, I think, pretty easily. And you just drill a little hole in there and stick them in. So compared to the rest of the house, this side is actually really boring. There's not much to it. One thing I did forget to mention is that I haven't put up the chimney yet. I had it. I think I was waiting to do the roof first before putting it on, or I wanted to do it at the same time. Again, I felt like, I don't know, I guess I just wanted to be creative and put a little hinge there. Normally, I think they suggested that you just glue it. But I liked having that there. I think I might stick some bats or some fun little surprise in there. Yeah, so that was kind of a fun little thing to do. And then it sticks up. There's a little tab that goes in here, so it will have to be glued in. Yeah, originally. Yeah, but it adds a little bit of charm. I'm not going to let go because it will fall. So if you're wondering what Finn is doing while I am filming, he's taking a nap. It's about to storm, and he doesn't do well in storms. So he's kind of hunkered down in his storm position here, hoping it'll all just go away. Poppy is a little more excited about filming, at least when she gets treats. So thanks for watching. Please offer any suggestions. Like I said, this is the first time that I have ever done this any house. So yeah, offer any suggestions you have. I'd love to hear them. And I hope you have a great day. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you. Bye.